who took home $150,000 for the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour Stage 7 on Saginaw Bay? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. Another fantastic tournament for the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour. It just ended, and quite honestly, it was another home run. This was the last tournament of the year for the BPT. And if you missed the action today, it was, well, you missed a great one. Really, seriously great one from many different aspects. And we're going to go over it. Now, Todd Faircloth just started off the way you want. He was, in that first period, he caught 50 pounds of fish. And you could see that Wheeler and others were just trying to keep pace. What made it great was Jacob Wheeler was explaining what his plan was going to be, what he was looking for, how he was going to fish, if he should use a popping frog or a walking frog. And you got to hear the insights of one of, if not the greatest anglers on the planet. And I say that a lot, but it gets in my head. But the more I think about what Jacob Wheeler has done in the last 4 years, the last 5 years, winning Angler of the Year 4 out of 5 years, and the 1 year he didn't win, he came in second place to Matt Becker. And then you get to see Jacob talk about his strategy and what he's looking for and how he's going to fish. Then you really realize that the man just is in a league of his own. And he had 21 pounds in the first 90 minutes and was 22 or 24 pounds behind Todd Faircloth. And you had Brian Thrift and Spencer Sheffield in the mix also that were fishing well. All of them did great in the first period, but without question, it was the Todd Faircloth show in P1. And in that period, only one angler turned on forward-facing sonar. That was Keith Carson. Should mention, I don't think he used it. He just had it turned on. And when the day started, if you would have said to me, who is the person you think is going to win? I would have told you, without any question, I thought Edwin Evers had the best shot at winning for two reasons. One, the area that he fished had a day off, and I felt like maybe it might repopulate. And then the second thing I thought was important for Edwin was that he had a zone that nobody else was fishing. There was no other pressure from other anglers. But boy, was I wrong. Edwin was using a buzz bait, and watching that bait get annihilated on the top of the water is phenomenal to watch. It is what I want to watch when I'm watching fishing. I want to hear good commentating. I want to see explosions and anglers fishing the traditional way. And I should say, whoever the cameraman on Edwin's boat deserves a raise. For him to be able to keep track of where that bait lands, zoom in, get a close-up, and then bring it in so that when it does get crushed, it's unbelievable to see. It's just awesome. So kudos to that cameraman. And like I said, P1 ended with Faircloth catching 50 pounds. Edwin Evers is in second with 36. Wheeler had 32, and Thrift had 29. And none of those guys had forward-facing sonar on. And in period 2, early on, the leaderboard got a little bit closer. Faircloth's fish kind of evaporated for a little bit there. And we got to see Evers get behind Faircloth and get within 6 or 7 pounds. And like I mentioned, Faircloth's early on in P2, Faircloth's fish seemed to vanish. And it gave Edwin Evers and Wheeler really some hope. But then Todd's fish came back. He made a little move, and it was on. And Wheeler and Evers were chasing him. But not for long, because in that end of that period 2, Jacob Wheeler caught him. And then it was the Wheeler-Faircloth bass fishing contest or bass fishing tournament. And Todd had his knee on those guys' throats. He was trying to choke them out. But Jacob Wheeler is a beast. And in period 3, Jacob Wheeler made some really crucial decisions on how he wanted to fish and where he wanted to fish. He continuously told us his strategy for the whole day, that he needed the fish to give him a little bit of a break and that he thought that they would show back up. And when you got to hear his strategy and then see it to come to fruition, you quickly realize why Jacob Wheeler is one of the greatest anglers that has ever lived. And Jacob Wheeler ended up winning this tournament, his second win of the year. He just won Angler of the Year a couple days ago for $100,000. And then 2 days later, he won this tournament for $150,000. So Jacob Wheeler's weekend was pretty darn successful with $250,000 going to the Wheeler family. And there were 3 anglers that used forward-facing sonar in period 3. But all they did was turn it on. They were not fishing with it. I don't understand it. Not sure why. But when it all came down to it, Wheeler really didn't use forward-facing sonar at all today or any of the time this weekend. And won another tournament. And the top 10 anglers were, of course, Jacob Wheeler. Congrats to him if I didn't say it already. Absolutely fantastic weekend from day 1 to 4. Just unbelievable. Like, it's ridiculous how good this young man is. But yeah, Jacob Wheeler, and we had Todd Faircloth, Edwin Evers, Cole Floyd, Brent Ayler, Brian Thrift, Nick Hatfield, Spencer Shuffield, Keith Carson, and James Elam in that top 10. And like I said, absolutely ridiculous tournament for Jacob Wheeler. So congratulations, Jacob, and the team, that your family and the team that you've put behind you, and your just commitment to being the best, you should be commended for. So thank you, Jacob, for doing what you do. But the season's over for 2025. We'll do a who's in and who's out over the next couple days for the BPT for 2026. And we'll just say it. Jacob Wheeler, Jacob Wheeler, Jacob Wheeler. What did you think? Did you watch the BPT this weekend? What did you think? I have some B-roll footage and some other stuff that's going to come in from an angler or from a friend, and I can't wait to do a video on that. But what did you think of the weekend and all of the stuff that Jacob Wheeler in the field of the BPT did this weekend? Comment below and tell me what you think. Is Jacob Wheeler the king? Well, yes. Drop a comment if you think differently. Thanks to all the new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on the channel. I really do appreciate it. It's humbling, it's awesome, and it's great. And I can't say thank you enough, but thank you. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing that we're doing, and we're a team. So if you're watching this, you're part of the team, and I appreciate you. But if you're not a subscriber, click that button. Welcome to the team. It's quick, easy, and it's free. Just click that button and welcome. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.